For those of you that watched my other video on how to do a closer role play, you're going to see a lot of similarities in this video. I just wanted to make this one for appointment setters that are looking to maximize their role play sessions and ensure that they're learning, that they're growing, and that they're going to be practicing things that they're actually going to experience when they get on an offer. So if you are looking to get into remote sales for your first time, if you're looking for your first appointment setting gig, this video is 100% something you're going to want to watch. And I promise it's going to be super, super quick because I just wanted to share a few elements that you might want to add to your setting role play sessions if you're not already doing it. Just like I said in the last video, first thing you want to make sure overarchingly is to practice harder than you play. Those role play sessions need to be difficult. Obviously, like I said before, if it's your first one, your first couple, if you're just getting into it, the first thing you want to do is just get down a structure. You want to learn how to be consistent with the call flow as an appointment setter, how you do the triage flow. But after that, you're going to want to quickly ramp up the difficulty, almost to a point where you're like, why would I even entertain a conversation with this person? Not saying that it like every single role play needs to be that way, but you need to incorporate some very difficult moments in your role play sessions if you just want to be at a place where you're prepared for anything. It's not about saying, hey, every single call is going to be a living hell and everyone's going to be so rude and so mean to you on your role plays. But what it is about is making sure that you're in a position where if someone does throw you any type of curveball, you've got the reps in so much that it doesn't throw you off. It doesn't make your voice crack. It doesn't make you freeze and pause. It doesn't throw you off to the point where you get completely derailed and you can't finish the conversation. Now, obviously, if someone is just mean, just flat out rude, probably not a good fit for whatever you're setting them for. But if someone is throwing you small variations that come up pretty often in setting calls, for example, when you first call them, usually they might be like a lead that opted in to maybe a free training from a lead magnet. And when you call them, one thing that you'll find happens often is someone just not remembering who you are, what they opted in for. Maybe they were on the toilet when they clicked the ad. Maybe they clicked on it 2 days ago, 3 days ago, depending on how quickly you actually got to that lead. So them not remembering you can be a pretty common thing. And I've seen setters practice role play, practice role play, practice role play. Then they take those first couple real calls. And as soon as they dial, they say, hey, is this Mark? And Mark's like, yeah, what's up? You're like, hey, it's Ty from XYZ. And they're like, what? Who? I don't remember. What are you talking about? What's this about? Right? And then they freeze, they pause, and they're like, why? Because all of their role plays, the person they practiced with was like, oh yeah, I remember you, bud. Yeah, sure. What's up? What do you need? And they were like the nicest, easiest person to speak to. And that's just not the reality. So the first thing you definitely want to do when it comes to your role plays is have some variation at the beginning of the call. And that variation can be not remembering you. That variation can be someone trying to rush you off the call, not having the time. That variation can be someone assuming you're like a telemarketer and that you're cold calling them. Mix it up, right? As soon as you call and you're doing your role play and you say ring, ring, and that person says, hey, who is this? As soon as you start to talk, be like, oh, not interested, or who is that? I don't remember you. Or oh, I don't have the time. Yeah, I'm interested. I want to talk about this, but just not right now. Can you call me back later? Get used to dealing with that. And then add, like, throughout the call, find different ways to mix it up as well, especially at the end of the call when you're actually setting the appointment and you're saying, hey, let's schedule the call for XYZ time and date. However it is you're setting the actual call, variation you can add to that is someone just asking some questions. Like, instead of just saying, cool, set the call this date, everything's perfect, I'll see you then, click on your role plays, go to set the time and then have them be like, oh wait, hold on. Does this cost any money? Is the call cost money? Or how much is the program? Or can you just tell me the price about what you guys do? Or, just have them ask some questions because those things do happen. That is what happens on real triage calls. So add some variation at the end of the call, add some variation at the beginning of the call. Get used to not being flustered in those kinds of situations. And if you can role play out, like you guys are aiming to do 50 role plays or 100 role plays, but if all of your 100 role plays have zero variation when it comes to these things, it's just not going to prepare you in the right way. It might prepare you for the structure, but it's only going to prepare you for a perfect prospect, which is just not reality. So if you can do, 10, 20 role plays with perfect prospects, and then, your other 70, 80 are just like, maybe that one variation of them not remembering you do like 20, 30, 40 times. And then that one variation, like you're never going to stop practicing, right? I'm just saying, in the first couple weeks or something of your journey. Again, if you're a beginner just getting into it, if you're not a beginner and you've been on offers, you understand what it is. So you need to be practicing. I'm really making this for people that, one, don't practice correctly, and two, are just not aware that these things happen. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully you guys are now aware and you're going to be doing the right practice, and you're going to be, getting better prepared for these opportunities. I'll see you guys in the next video.